So do you each have your own personal campaigns all the time that you're working on?
Kinda, yeah.
Technically.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you mean do we spew out shit all the time, well then yes. It's consistent.
That's good.
Yeah, the people that have people to do it for them are way more consistent than the people that don't, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
Do you guys encourage like staff and interns and everybody just to do their own personal campaigns?
in the words of
Think about it that
Stan,
way?
in the words of Stan, if you're not doing that, then why the fuck would you want to work here?
Makes sense.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I think for the younger guys, it's been good because they've had like myself, Nate, Elaine, sort of all tell them like, fuck, like I was 23 or whatever, and I wish my boss was telling me back then to build my personal brand, like how much further ahead would be in life right now if I had started building a huge network when I was fucking 23 and didn't start when I was in my 30s.
We'd have had to have done it on bits of wood and stuff.
Oh yeah, I had to chisel it. And, yeah. So yeah, a few of them got behind it and doing it, and the ones who are super consistent, like the more consistent they are, the more help they get, which is then sort of provides a feedback loop, so they end up doing more and more. But we don't sort of help them out from the beginning with doing. We just help them out from like encouragement, strategy, accountability, stuff like that. So they gotta earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Who are we missing?
Kylie and
The coffee video was funny.
oh yeah, it's done the rounds now.
Cool.
I hadn't seen it before. Is that you'd seen that before?
Yeah, it's had a lot of people trying to like repost it and steal it.
Yeah.
And some guy offered me $100 to repost it yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, awesome, bro. $100. Then the wages was more than $100.
That's all I had at the time.
yeah, but this guy. I've had a few people get YouTube strikes because they've tried to steal my content.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh, they just steal it. They don't ask, you know. They don't.
Yeah.
It's like I don't mind people. There's one guy in my DMs right now. He's like, "Oh, hey, do you mind if I do it?" Some young kid with an aggregate page. Yeah, fine. But I don't just steal people's shit and then try to claim it, you know. And they're doing it on YouTube where they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
So, and they do it to everyone. So if you can get them a strike, then they can get pulled off because they're stealing everyone's content. It's a bit of a shit move. At least ask, right? At least that's the least you can do is just go, hey, this is a funny video. Can I repost it? Sure. Yeah. So just grumpy Stan being a prick.
So then is that what kind of like Instagram and TikTok and those guys are doing a little bit? Because I've heard that
Yeah.
reposted stuff isn't going to be as well received on those platforms.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get permission and rights from the user to do it. Like say like Lad Bible. So if Lad Bible reposts you, they send you a link. You got to fill it in, and you give them all your rights to the video. Well, it's a non-exclusive agreement, but you know they take the rights and then they can do it. So if Instagram flags and they go, no, actually I own it. I own the rights to this now. Yeah. But yeah, these other little guys, they don't have all that system built up, so they have to steal it essentially. Yeah. All right, well, we might get going. If Nick jumps on, I'll hand over to Nate.
I'm going to hand over to Joni. All right, so this week we're just going to reconvene where we were last week. And the idea is that we're going to try and get to a campaign stage. And we have a few weeks, I can't remember, is it 3 weeks left or 2 weeks left?
4 weeks technically of this stage.
Yeah, 4 weeks of this stage.
It shouldn't take us that long.
Yeah.
No, it should take us 2.
To start to get to forming some kind of idea around what comms that you'll be putting out or what you need to actually start going out there and doing. So does everyone want to recap themselves where they think they were at last week and then what they think they need this week or for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, especially around that enemy, you know, as part of your homework, what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
How do we feel about talking about that? I mean, certainly Kylie wasn't here, so we'll give you maybe a little pass, but only for about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Nope.
Anyone want to start? Like, talk about where you're at from last week and what you think, how you're thinking about it, your enemy.
I think I'm pretty confident on thinking about my enemies and things. I was thinking a big one, like industry, is a big enemy for me.
What was that again? Sorry, Jennifer, say that again.
Industry.
Oh yeah.
More so on the from the making of the product aspect, but then things like technology and almost a bit of individualism could be an enemy, because it's promoting people just to be for themselves and live their own lives, and instead of more in that community mindset.
Cool.
And then a bit of consumerism, things like that. That's what I've got written down.
Cool. That's good.
What's the recap, sorry, on that?
Consumerism, individualism, mass market sort of production.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the opposite.
Rolling out the big guns today.
Nice.
Well, I find it much easier to remember and work out on the generation.
Anyone else want to jump in and share theirs?
Ours was chocolate. Boring as the beginning.
Yeah.
But then we kind of melded that a bit with complacency and routine
Yeah.
of what people buy.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it started some fun conversations about will it caramel,
Nice.
and yeah, Clayton's pretty pumped about doing something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it kind of gave us some info points for content in some ways. I guess it's very helpful in that aspect.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. I love that. All at caramel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
But then we were also kind of wondering, is the enemy also
Your competition
Your competition.
specifically, or is it more like sort of,
like the other day we were mentioned in the paper with Wellington Chocolate Factory, but they put Wellington Chocolate Factory's image up, but not ours.
it's like how specific is the enemy? Does it get to like a person, or is it more like a
This is just very
Yeah.
conceptual.
it's more of a conceptual idea rather than
It can be that. Like, we had a client yesterday, we were trying to determine whether or not it was the banks, is it ASB? And like, it can be, it's not always the best way, because then it limits where you can go with it. And also, like, if it's one of the reasons, like with Samsung and Apple, why Apple's brand's so much better than Samsung, because Samsung's, their enemy is Apple. And so
Right.
all their marketing is quite one-dimensional around we're better than Apple. And then
Yeah.
the quick answer is, the defeat to that is just like, no, you're not. And then it's all over. Like, I don't think you are. So then you've got nothing left. Like, it's like, what do you come back with when you just say, no, you're not better than Samsung? Oh, okay. Well, fuck. I've
Is
got
it
nothing else.
more sort of what, like if we were to use Wellington Chocolate Factory as an example, it's more what they stand for, or what we think they stand for would be part of our enemy in a way,
Potentially,
rather
yes.
than
I think a really good example of that is the Nintendo and Sega war. Because Nintendo came out and they were like just the best, and they had like, I think it was 98% of the market. And then Sega were like, fuck, we need to do something. So the CEO of Sega did a list of 8 things that he could attack Nintendo on. And they went through the list and they attacked Nintendo on all these things. And it was amazing. They got back to, I think it was like a 50-50 share at one point. But once that ran out and they stopped, they had nothing. And Nintendo never did it. Nintendo just carried on being Nintendo. And look what happened. Sega's gone. So I think you can do it, but I think if you do it, I think the way to do it is you need to establish yourself as what you are, and get big enough, and then you can probably attack. But at the end of the day, you'll always go back to just being you and ignoring the other people, as in the competitors. Because almost by saying, you're attacking them, you're recognizing they're there, and you're reminding your customer that they're there. You just want to ignore them. Like, you don't want to go there, I'd say, unless you're big enough to do that. Like, Apple's never really gone out and attacked any other brand. They've just been them. Nike's the same.
Right.
Like, Nike doesn't ever. Nike's enemy is apathy and laziness. Like, they never go out and attack another. Like, Nike never go, Adidas is shit. Like, they just don't need to, right? So I think it's just one of those things where if you take the high ground, you need to stick with it. And and that other ground puts you in a position where you're not as strong. You're worried about the competitor, so therefore the consumer's going to go, oh, hang on a minute, the competitor might be quite good, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the way.
I get it a bit more.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like you want someone to vote for you, not against the other person?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
That's why
'cause
we're
then they're
doing
thinking
Trump.
about the other person, so you're already starting to lose the buck.
They actually did a study on that with MRI scans of Apple and Samsung users, where Apple, it turned out the long of it was that Apple users felt positive about Apple, which is their main reason for buying it, and that's how they thought about it. And Samsung users felt negative towards Apple, as opposed to positive towards Samsung. They just didn't like Apple, so they took Samsung.
Yeah.
And it's a funny thing because that was me, right? Like, I'm a Samsung user. And like, I'm always like going, fucking Apple, then shit things that they got. But like, actually, like, very rarely talking about why Samsung's good, because actually you can get an Oppo phone that does everything Samsung phone does as well. There's no differentiation between the two. It's just that Samsung's the biggest, so it's the best shot at Apple. If that makes sense.
We're called haters.
Yeah, haters. Yeah, exactly.
Haters.
Yeah, haters.
Another way of thinking about it, because you're kind of chocolate artists, right? That's one way of looking at it. And I think I kind of wrote down a list of just different artists that I think are kind of as brands, like what they would be like, and maybe what they might say. And one of them is Simone Forti, and she's still alive. She is a dancer, she does non-dance. And she said, I think this is right, artists should not look to the left or the right, which is funny because she's a dancer. You know, if she did it, maybe it'd fall over. But I think it's a bigger thing. As an artist, like, you're absolutely not there. Your other artists are not your competition, ever.
Yeah.
It's always this other, almost kind of hard to describe thing. So I definitely feel like you'd be in a trap if you started going, we're not Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake and Kendrick Lamar are doing the thing where they're just getting each other to getting their audiences to listen to each other's music because they're having a bitch fight. Like, it's the same shit, right?
Yeah. But you are right that the ideals of what they stand for can be right, and we sort of said that with complacency and chocolate, boring chocolate, is that they're just these big factory-made stuff that has no sort of differentiation or whatever, and they're kind of bland flavor choices and things that are, that's the idea you're going up against, as opposed to these brands.
Yeah, as opposed.
Yeah, and also in that instance that you talked about with the newspaper, or whatever it was, the article. Actually, the Wellington chocolate aren't the enemy there. It's the media not giving you the coverage, right? Like, they're the bad guy, and there's something about that too, where that's complacency as well, because often media shoots to the people that they know well, or it's easier, or they've got some sort of familiarity with, and then we all go, but I'm better, why aren't you doing the story on me? It's like, well, they just don't know you. Like, they're just complacent. Like, they're just doing what's easy for them. Like, they got it. People forget that, like, the people who work at newspapers or magazines are just people with a job that they're bored at, and so they just do the easiest thing they can do to get through their day. They don't give a fuck. Like, it's not that industry anymore. Like, journalists have a shit time at the moment. Like, they just get paid fuck all now and get asked to pump out shitloads of stuff. I know, because I hired a journalist, and that's what I make him do. So, like, it's just what it is. But yeah, ideal. So that's good. That's good. I like complacency. I like your one because it's an easy one to think of, like, how to do fun stuff with. Yeah. Anyone else want to share what they thought about their enemy, or if they're lost a little bit? Yeah, go.
I can try. again, like so last week we talked about essentialism, and then I thought, kind of, thinking it through. Well, what happens if the artists and institutions that I'd like to be part of, that they already that they just adopt a non-essentialist posture? What happens then to my kind of argument? And the funniest thing about that is that as I was doing that, I was going, yeah, like 2015 when this person stole my fucking show, and then it's like, well, that is actually pretty much what happens. It's that I myself, or someone else that I think is cool and would be great to take to a higher level, that their work gets kind of recapitulated, kind of in a way that you started the conversation. It gets sampled, and it's like, we're not against sampling, but it's getting sampled without any kind of like additional thing. It's not like interesting reappropriation. It's just like stealing. And so yeah, that can happen. And so then I thought, okay, well, there's sort of two aspects of that. It could be protectionism. The bigger thing could be protectionist kind of idea, or uniformism. So I don't think it's uniformism, because it's not like the Borg. The problem is actually it can be really, really cool sometimes. It's just that, and it's the posture of protecting the interests that exist, kind of conservatism or protectionism. I went fairly kind of nerdy on it, thinking of different like protectionist villains, and I was like, oh, actually this is kind of interesting. But I'll probably leave it there. I haven't got like it doesn't produce like an automatic thought about what the campaign might look like.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Nate did a post on LinkedIn, which I fucking loved. And that one, it was said something, don't tell me what you do, tell me why it's hard.
Yeah.
And I started, that actually sort of triggered for me to think about like how I could do it, because there's infinite things that are difficult about making this stuff. And then, so thinking about telling that story started to help a little bit. But I'll pass it back.
No, that's good. I think that one of the reasons, well, I've noticed since doing this process with the guys, is that the simpler the language is to explain the enemy or whatever it is, the easier it is for your brain to take it to other places. So like protectionism, like, will definitely encapsulate what it is that you need to do, but how do we explain protectionism in more simple language? Because simple language is easier to take other ways. Like, it's quite hard to take the word protectionism and then apply it to different things, and so your brain struggles to like make the leap to the next thing. But like, how do we dumb down the word protectionism or all of this conversation, and then that'll let your brain will be able to leap to other things easier, right? So like boring and complacency and stuff like that are a somewhat more common language that people use. So then you use those words in other contexts, and so therefore it's easy to leap to those other contexts, right? Does that make sense? So like, if we can dumb down the language, you actually find it easier to jump to the next thing, which gives you these content ideas. And you'll see that as we get into campaign, we start to brainstorm. Like, the first few ideas that we throw out for campaign are probably shit, but they're giving you starting blocks to jump to the next thing. And if that starting block's too complex and no one gets it, then you just got to delete them. Like, we'll just run them off the board because it doesn't give us anywhere to leap from. So that's probably all it is, because there's nothing wrong with protectionism as an enemy. Like, it makes sense, like what you say. It's just, we need to dumb it down probably. Yeah. Cool.
Upright.
Anyone else?
Okay, I'll jam. Got a few things. I guess everyone is coming with complacency because we're all quite niche services and products. So that's a thing I've got as well. Conformity, convenience was massive last week. We spoke about convenience and time management. People just, they feel they don't have the time or time prioritization. And energy as well. We only get so much energy throughout the day. Like, who wants to go for a run or go to the gym when they could be doing something else with the kids? So energy prioritization. Not saying that you don't have the energy. It's just where you're putting that energy. Selflessness. I just wrote that down. People don't want to be selfish, but you kind of have to be selfish if you're working on yourself, right? So selflessness. Well, people will look after their kids more than themselves, and then, or their partner, or do something for someone else. They don't want to do something for themselves. And I guess the awareness and the education around a little bit of exercise and mobility each day, how good that is for you. People don't understand that just a small amount, just the education and awareness around it.
Like a compounding effect sort of thing. Is there anything?
Yeah, even listening to the other day to a few podcasts, like me and Daisha were listening to, and like there was Dana White did this $1 million process and got his health back on track. But Gary Bricker says, bro, no one can afford this $10,000 this process, this red light therapy, this cold therapy he's doing, but it's as simple as going outside, walking on the grass for 5 minutes every second day, getting a bit of sunlight for 5 minutes when you can a day, and you'll reap the same benefits. A little bit of movement, people don't like, just listening to it. When I heard it, I was like, it's kind of standard for me, but just the education and awareness for most people is just not there. You wouldn't think of it. So a little bit of education, and not like,
just that people. Well, it's kind of like people think it's a big process to do, but what you're saying is actually it's not that big. It's not that you don't need to put that much energy into it. You don't need to be that selfish.
Exactly.
You just have to do a little bit by prioritization.
And then I guess the education around the harm that would happen to yourself if you don't prioritize yourself around that, because people think, if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. It's like, cool, if you don't start moving a few times a week, there's other shit that's going to be worse than that. There's quality of life and just
selflessness.
I think people do know that. I just think it's the bit for me is the jump between knowing about it. People know that if they don't move around, they're going to be ill. They know it.
Yeah.
Like, all of those people know it. They're told all the time.
Yeah.
But they don't. It's the jump between doing that and actually doing the thing of the. Because the thing with the exercise is that I think the trouble with exercise is you need an amount to make a difference, and even if you do a little bit, it doesn't make a difference. So it's harder to believe in it. You know what I mean? Like, because I do that. Everyone knows that. You know that not moving around is bad for you. Everyone knows that. But it's just that bit between getting from there to actually doing it and getting. And I don't mean. Because my barrier was, I thought it was going to be hard. Like, I really thought going to the gym I would never do it because it's going to be a drag and it's going to be hard. And I just started going, and after a while it was just auto. I didn't even think about it as a thing I did. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a thing where I go, oh my god, I've got to go to the gym. So I just went to the gym. I didn't think about it. And that's how I got through. Excellent. And that's, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you can get people to that point where it's just a thing they do, that it's not a big deal, because that's the same. It's the thing we talked about yesterday with smoking and like all of those, like drinking. They're all things where you believe because you're told you can't give up, you can't quit, it's too hard, and therefore there's a barrier. But actually, just doing a little step by step, like you say, but it's just getting people, that bit in the middle there is the bit to crack.
What do you think that is? Is that enemy? Like, what's the enemy to get started in that instance? I didn't mind the idea of, like, as a content topic, selflessness, like making people the enemy of. We want them to be selfish. So the opposite is like we don't want them to be selfless. Is the enemy, because people often use other priorities as the excuse imposed to themselves, right? Like, I use it all the time. I didn't go to the gym this morning because I had to get ready for Team X because I didn't do it last night, so I put my team's learning ahead of my own health this morning.
It's a habit is a problem as well. Just habits. Because it's the thing we say about, like, you've got enough time.
But that jump, you needed that jump before you create that habit.
No, I mean the current habit. the current habit
Yeah.
is the problem.
Yeah, I've written down here fear of change.
Yeah, because it's a current habit, and like that you've got time to do everything you want to do. You just prioritize it like he taught me that you prioritize it in a way that you've got time to do everything. You just make your choices. That's how you use your time.
Who on screen wants to work out more, doesn't, and if so, why? Why aren't you doing it more?
Because I do it enough.
I'm lazy, and he already does it.
But you're not lazy. You've made yourself a chocolate company. Make any sense?
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
So-
That's not lazy. That's not because you're lazy.
Yeah.
You just prioritize that thing over the other thing.
Yeah, no, actually, Aaron, this is good. Like, what do you think? Why do you prioritize the business over your health?
What was that, sorry?
Why are you prioritizing the building of this business over going out to work out?
Oh, it's the business. It's also wine.
Wine.
What else am I prioritizing it? I mean, I walk my dogs. I don't like pain. It hurts me to work out.
Got it.
I get really
Is it?
sore.
Look at this.
And I can see that. No, it is. It's painful. Yeah. And
Pain barrier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
I
good.
like comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comforting.
I mean, it's everything you said, which is good. Yeah. Anyone else got any thoughts on that? Like,
Kylie, put your hand up.
yeah, Kylie, what did you say? What were you going to say?
Just similar, and that it's easy to prioritize everything else. It hurts. It takes ages. You don't see instant results.
Yeah, that's a big problem. I
Yeah,
think.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one because I will work out for like 3 weeks and there's no change. And I'm like, fuck it. Why am I not late already?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Tonga, you got your hand up?
I go to the gym every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, but I go for the coffee afterwards with the crew.
God,
So-
that's cool.
Community.
Community.
I'm not too fussed about physical changes. Like, I'm just like, okay, I train so I can eat what I want. So it's a bit more than just a physical thing. Like for me, it's the community of my crew. It's the coffee that we have after the training, and then everyone disperses and starts their day. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Camaraderie. Yeah.
That's a cool reason to do it.
Yeah, that's a really good reason. To
I've
do it.
got a reason why I don't do it. I don't know how unique this is, but I don't know. This might sound like I'm sort of like gassing myself up, but I don't need to do very much, and I instantly feel a change. So I actually kind of enjoy it. And when I was younger, I was very addicted to going to the gym. But like it's weird. I actually feel guilty, like almost like it's a religious thing. Like I haven't been long enough, and then people are going to go, "Oh, where have you been?" Blah blah blah. So I actually don't want to talk to them.
I get it.
I don't.
Big time.
It's a weird one. Like I actually really enjoy it. If I could just go there and do the session and not have the kind of like.
Not have the community.
Bro,
Not have the social
Fuck's sake.
order part of it. Like it's cool if we could sort of like just act like nothing had happened, but there will be a point where they go, "Fuck, I haven't seen you in ages," I don't know.
Bro.
I totally get it.
Bro, I think your content series should you be going to the gym with a bag over your head?
Big headphones, bro. And glasses.
Yeah, just in disguise every day.
I love it. I totally get it though,
Why,
right?
Jim?
I totally understand that feeling of like going back to, especially classes or like group sports or whatever, and people like, "Bro, where you been?" I say, "Oh fuck." And,
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be the awkward guy coming in with my tail between my legs.
Yeah. Yeah, feeling awkward.
That's funny. Okay, cool. Unless anyone else wants to share, but otherwise that's
Thanks for your feedback,
yeah,
guys.
that's good.
That's
Thank you very much.
helpful. That's really
That's really helpful.
The community thing's really interesting, like doing it for the community, not just for yourself.
Reasons why, yeah, which is a big part in group sessions because they're group training. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to talk about their enemies?
We have a word in the industry that we describe like accused designers who are not designers. We call them decorators. I don't know if it's just a Hamilton Waikato thing, but they're basically decorators who call themselves designers, but they're not designers and they can't design anything. So we call them decorinas.
Decorinas.
But I don't know if I should be fighting other decorinas or yeah, I don't know.
Why don't they become? You know, like there's something there. Like why aren't they?
Yeah.
What's stopping them from becoming designers? You know, like what's their enemy? Because like that'd be cool if you're the authority teaching these decorators to become designers. Like you're the thought leader in the space kind of thing. That would be a cool position to hold. So like why aren't they designers? What's stopping them? What are they missing?
Our industry is not regulated, so anyone can call themselves an interior designer. Like throw out the Instagram page and there you go. So that's a big difference. And then those who are designers have a formal qualification from a reputable training institute, like a university or tech. There's lots of cowboys who run online courses on how to be an interior designer, and that's where you find the decorinas. They usually do those. Yeah, and a lot of us designers can design something that can be built legally, and any tradie would look at our technical drawings and be able to understand them and read them and build from them. So yeah, so they're really decorators, not designers. But I don't know if I should be picking on them or not.
But if you go back to I don't think it's picking on them, but if you go back to your vision, which is fighting design mediocrity, then teaching those guys, like that doesn't reflect your bottom line, but it's like if you can help those guys, then you become someone whose vision is true, and then that will bring you people in because you're helping fight that thing, that the design mediocrity. Whether you're benefiting directly from it financially at that point doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like if you are the person that helps those people get better, then you 100%. Are the
100%.
It's a really good position for you to be in.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, because everyone's had that experience where it's been shit or something's been wrong or they had to go back and get it rebuilt or all that stuff. Like your audience are all going to have an idea of that, or if asked someone. Like most of the people that you engage with will have asked their mates, who's good or what do I have you any horror stories? So it's a really good spot to be in. Like actually just they're not the enemy, design mediocrity is the enemy, they're the vehicle for that, so you help them to improve so that the design mediocrity goes away.
Yeah. And also I think of it, so I 100% what Nate said, like teach them, if you're now the authority, cool. And then I also think of it like you start to expand the pie that you work in, because if there are no more decorators who are charging cheaper, shittier prices than what you do because they don't have the same cost that you have involved in getting to where it is and whatever, you start to expand this pie that everyone in the industry starts to realize what the worth and value of designers are. Like it starts to increase it. And so like we're the same, like we give away so much of how we do what we do all the time that, I mean, I've shared like so much of my stuff with actual people I know who are my friends or acquaintances, and then they take it and then they go like, oh, I've got this new service, I'm doing personal branding. And like, you know, they still come in for coffee, you know, like it's, but it's fine. Like for me, it's like, they're out there advertising us. Like we've had a client who we blew up on TikTok who did something completely different. They then finished their 6-month contract with us and then changed all their profiles to say, oh, we now do we help people blow up their TikTok, we've done it for ourselves. And it's like, no, you paid us to do that. And then, but like for me, like the rest of the team was like, oh, that's so scummy, blah blah blah. For me, I was like, this is fucking awesome, because they're like the Wish.com version of us, but now they're out advertising the service that we offer, which is like get more people doing strategic organic content for their social media profile, right? So now more people are doing that. So now when people do their due diligence, who's the best at this? Well, hopefully our name's closer to the top than everyone else.
There's such a good story around that, and also around the thieving thing, like the stealing thing. Who's played Angry Birds? Who's played Angry Birds?
Yeah.
Angry Birds specifically decided not to prosecute any carbon copies of their product because they realised really early on that the more people that played shit Angry Birds, the more people would want to play the real Angry Birds. And that's why Angry Birds became so. One of the reasons Angry Birds became so big, because they specifically enable people to copycat them, because they knew, like, people wanted to play Angry Birds, they'd play the shit version, get frustrated, and eventually end up at Angry Birds. Yeah. And that's the same as, like, I've never in my whole 28 years career sat in a room and explained people how to do my job, which I did last week. Like, I've never done that. I've never been in a business that's enabled me to do that. And that's what this business does. We don't sell knowledge. We sell our skills, and the knowledge will eventually lead people to come back to you for the skill. So I think that's for you, Tong, is a really, really good spot. And it's scary because you're giving away the secrets, but it's not really. You're going to have open conversations with people who eventually won't be able to do what you're telling them, so they'll come to you, or their audience will come to you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. 100%. And that's a big hurdle for a business to get over, but in the end, it's so beneficial to not be afraid to give away your secrets, because other people can't do the thing you do. They're different to you.
Yeah, because the copy and paste is easy. Anyone can do that. Can jump on Pinterest, find a nice picture, give it to somebody and say, build this. Yeah. But I guess we take the harder route, because it's the creative person wants to take the harder route and explore. And that's the value that we bring.
Yeah, and your premium service, Thomas. So, like people who buy premium services or products are never going to just want a copy and paste solution. They're going to want the person. They're buying so much more than the end product. You know, like no one buys designer stuff because it looks good. They buy it because it's designer. Like, I'm wearing Versace, or like they're buying it for the brand, for the reason they're behind it. And if Nest is the guys who are, we're the guys. Like, we're the premium service. We're the coolest. We do the coolest shit. You know, that's what people will buy, rather than just the design. Like, they're gonna buy you guys and the effort that you put in for custom solution and blah 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 blah.
And ultimately, like, invariably, those people are the people with the money that are going to be able to do the project. So therefore, there's a higher net worth for you as a business. Like, you're not getting the shit people who just want to copy and paste botch job because they can't afford it. Yeah. No disrespect to anyone, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just, you want those individuals who are successful and busy, and they can't do the thing that you do, even though you've told them how to do it. They're like, I can't do it because I'm busy. I'll just pay you to do it, right? That's what you want. Yeah.
Which then also gives you the revenue and the profit margins to do all the other stuff that you want to do on the community side of things, where you can't charge those people what you need to charge, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much what we do now. We feel like we're like Robin Hood, so we steal from the rich and give to the poor. And it is the high-end clients for the big budgets that we can charge our full fees, and then we can give a little bit of extra aroha to, like, the community projects.
Yeah. You know those high-end clients are never going to try and do it themselves, because they just don't need to. They do not need to. They've got money enough to pay someone to do it.
Yeah. 100%. Cool. All right, anything more for that one?
No, that's good. That's strong.
Okay. Well, we may as well finish everyone else, because we've only got 2 left. We'll start with Dave and Nick, where you're at with your enemy, and then we'll try how Kylie get to his, because he wasn't here last week, so we'll see where he's at.
Yes, I think our enemy was a mixture of it's shit tech and complacency, which not complacency. What's the word? People not being aware.
Yeah.
So Dave, I had it down as actually our internal team. Our internal team is our biggest enemy. Because again, if the how I see it is, if the team's not excited to build cool tech, we're not going to be able to do it. And then I think for me the other one was speed to scale. Like, those for me are the 2 biggest things that I kind of lie awake at night thinking about.
What's speed to scale, sir?
So speed to scale. So we've been in business for 8 years, and I would love for the company to be at the stage where we've got over 100 employees, and we're generating tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. But we're still very much in the startup phase, and like for me that's a big thing, is we need to scale up. Because if we continue to stay in the startup phase, there's going to be another player out there that's eventually going to eat us for breakfast.
You know, Nick, when you are successful in making millions of dollars a year, you'll look back and go, I loved it when we were tiny. You know that's going to happen.
But also, on that, Nick,
it must be the salesman in me. I want to sell a lot, and I'd like to very much sail off into the sunset. The appeal of getting the holiday bash on Waiheke Island is still up there for me.
So, Nick, with those two enemies, those are
internal.
Those are internal operational things, essentially, right? Your audience doesn't give a fuck if you're making heaps of money. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck.
If your team are engaged.
Or if your team are engaged, they don't care. They want to know what's for them, you know what I mean?
I disagree on the our customers don't care. Like, if we're not building cool tech, our customers care a great deal about that, because if we're not building the cool tech, they're going to find someone else who is.
No, what I mean is in terms of like in your team, your audience doesn't care about those things from a marketing perspective, as in it's not their enemy. Like, it's not the thing that they're trying to overcome.
Yeah.
The cool tech parts can definitely still be part of it, but like they don't care if you're growing as a business and doing what it is. That there is an element of that they'll want to see, but they're not just going to come towards you for that thing, right? The enemy that you got to find the audience's enemy first. You can have all those other things as pillars to talk to. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a founder's story talking about the growth of the business and all this sort of crap. But the enemy of like we talked about last time, is like there's no way that these creators that you're building for have any idea that you're an option. Like, there's it's just not a thing. Like, I talk to creators all the time, and when you tell them that there's platforms out there like your guys or Vidzing or any of the other sort of competitors in your space, they have no clue. They have no idea that that's even a thing. So that enemy's way stronger for them, because they don't care if you build cool tech, because they don't even know they need tech. You know, so that's a secondary thing that comes along.
Yeah. And when we say customers, you've got to remember these are customers you don't have yet.
Yes.
They're not actually the customers you've got. The customers you've got will understand those things.
Yeah, for sure.
But actually, we're talking to a massive group of people who you don't already have through the door. So they have no idea. They're so disconnected, they just don't even know. They don't care.
And right? You need those people to get to the next stage of your growth, right?
Yeah. If those problems exist for you when you've got loads of customers, that's an issue for you internally, because you have to provide the best tech. But in order to get to that point, you need to get all these people who have no idea who even you are, what they're doing. So they're the people we're talking to, and that's their common. What's the relatable thing to them that they'll go, oh, okay, you solved that problem for me. I really struggle with X, and you're saying you can solve that. I'll come and have a chat. Do you see what I mean?
Because we have a similar problem. Like we could say that we want to make viral content or whatever we want to do, but actually, so many big corporate companies don't realize that organic content is a way forward. They all think, oh, let's go get an ad made and put some money behind it. And that's just the way that they think. They don't think any differently. It's how they've always done it. And so there's no point in us saying to the big corporates, oh, we make viral content or whatever, because they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
we don't even get it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even understand what that is. And so we have to convince them that actually there is a way forward. Like, there is a way to market yourself organically through brand funded content or whatever it might be. So same for you guys, like, you don't get into the sale piece of going, oh, we've got the coolest tech, until they even know they need tech first of all. Because you won't get the doors open.
Yeah, I think that lines up with even Nick on sales calls, right? Is saying when people get what we do, which takes a while, they're like, holy, how did I not know about this? How did people not know about this? Like, I've been looking for this.
What point is that? Is there a consistent point where they go, oh, I get this?
So that's typically at the point where we actually demo the product. So there's two ways that they can actually demo the product. They can either come through our self-service tool, where they can actually get onto the platform, and typically that's when they have that aha moment where they're like, what? There's this like app building platform, and I can play around with my content, and I can do this, and I can download the VidApp app from the App Store, and I can see all of my content in the App Store. Or it's typically on a call with me when I would then actually demo the product, and then you can literally just see their face where they're just like, what? How have I been missing out on this for the last 4 or 5 years of my business.
And then do you know do you know why? So, because if in order for them to have a light bulb moment where they go, oh my God, what's this?
Yeah.
What's the thing what's the thing that in them that they're like, what are you solving? Is there one thing?
It's the platform. It's access to our platform. So for many content creators that go down the road of, hey, like I need an app, a branded app for my business, they'll speak to an agency, and the agency will give them some kind of concept, but there's no tangible.
What's the step forward before that though? Because I don't think. I don't think Joni's going to go, I need a branded app for content. I don't think that's like when you wake up in the morning, she's not worried about getting a branded app for content. She's worried about a problem she's got that the branded app for content will solve. What's that? What's the step forward or back?
So the step for that is there are there's X amount of daylight hours in the day for content creators, where having a branded app enables them to generate revenue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Where, for example, if we're using the example of a fitness, like a fitness influencer, typically it would be like a personal trainer who's now built up quite an influential following on social media. Working as a personal trainer, there's only so many customers that you can see in a day, be it 5 or 6. There's no easy way for them to scale that to hundreds of thousands of customers. By giving them a branded app where they've got, training videos and exercise videos on demand, it enables them to literally 10x, 50x their revenue from doing the same thing that they're already doing in the daylight hours, but now they make it accessible to a much larger audience.
It's just basic human need, like Maslow's, right? They need money.
Yeah, it's money.
The enemy is that for most content creators,
they don't know how to make money.
Yeah, there's very few content creators who are actually making good money. Like very few. Like we know that. But there's like there's a fucking shitload of them trying. Fucking shitload.
So like simple unit economics, even if you have 200 subscribers that you're charging $20 a month, you guys can do the math on that. Like you don't actually need a lot.
I actually can't right now. My brain's not working quite properly. Yeah, but yeah, I get it.
So you get to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers. There's a couple of additional $1,000 every single month that you're just pocketing for the work that you're already doing. You then get to the customers that have tens of thousands of subscribers. Again, 50,000 subscribers multiplied by $20 per month, and you've got a team of 3 people, for example. Like it's like crazy the amount of money that you could be making through that. But like the revenue component is important, but that aha moment is, oh shit, having an app is actually really easy and it's accessible to me. It's not this like mythical beast that sits on an ivory tower that I can actually only access when I have tens of thousands of subscribers and I have a spare $350,000 lying around to build a custom app.
Okay, so then there's a step back from that, because how many content creators do you know that started up to make money? What's the reason?
In my experience, every content creator is wanting to make money.
Yeah, but they didn't do that they didn't wake up and go, right, I need to make some money. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a content creator. A lot of them, I don't think.
They became content creators. I mean, Jonah's a great example. Hey.
And then there's what's that part?
Like, oh, I could monetize this.
Yeah, I could monetize this. Do you see what I mean? Because that's more relatable to the audience. Like, if you're talking to no one gets up and goes, right, I'm going to be a content creator, so I'm going to make loads of money. It doesn't happen. You get to a point and you're like, oh fuck, I'm being undersold here. I'm getting shit money and I've got this audience. What's that part?
I think it's, first of all, just quickly, it's important to say not to use absolutes. because there are definitely content
Oh yeah,
creators.
totally. Yeah.
I think that's
majority,
it. And I think it's increasingly becoming a more norm. Because younger generations, you know, the most popular job at the moment is to be a YouTuber. They want to do that as a job. So it is important, I think, because otherwise you'll go down the wrong path.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's still just come down to that they don't have the education to know the options. And when I think of like all the creators I talk to, their instant thing, because they see it the most, is I'll get brand deals. I'll get brand deals.
Yes.
Like the first way you get paid for most creators is going to be brand deals, because especially in New Zealand, globally you'll get paid by the platform first, then you'll get paid by brand deals, and then say like affiliates or like whatever is like number 3, some sort of service, and then a product, and you guys are the product. And if you can get a product sold, that's what you're saying there. You're selling a product that makes money while you sleep, which is the best. But I don't think anyone, because it is actually the hardest thing to do, is to create a product. People don't know how to make the leap from 0 to 1 customer. They don't understand how to even have the thing to have the 1 customer in that product. It's really, really difficult to make that leap. It's an ignorance play, like the enemy's ignorance. And these are young kids, a lot of them, right? A lot of content creators like 21, 24, they have fucking no idea about business, and you're essentially saying to them, hey, come use our app and become an entrepreneur. And they're like, what the fuck? I do dancing TikToks. Like, I have no fucking clue. You know what I mean? So I think the enemy's more just ignorance. Like, they're just ignorant. They don't know. And it's not because they're stupid. It's just because they don't know. They just don't have a clue.
Yeah.
And actually, we talk, so we know the guys at Vidzing who have a similar-ish product, but they talked to Joni about this, about, we should get you on and do stuff, right? And you were like, yeah, I get it, but what the fuck am I going to put out?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. She's like, what are the videos I'm going to put on it?
Yeah.
And they're like, you can teach people how to make TikToks. She's like, I don't want to fucking do that. Am I going to teach them the Renegade? Like, what am I going to do? So they didn't sell well enough to Joni, who was like captive audience, sitting in a room like this going, like, they could have easily got you on if they knew what the real enemy was, so that they could get Joni across that next line.
Yeah.
Hey.
They just said all the fancy parts about the app and why it's so convenient. It's like, well, I wasn't looking for a convenient way to make an app. That's not something I wake up and think, this is what I need today.
Yeah.
And Joni would 100% get 10,000 people to subscribe. Like, her audience fucking loves her. They would come on if she did it right. But she just was like, she had human truth.
There's probably one context I'd just add is that the guys that really get it, like our inner audience, our core guys, are already selling. So it's a bit of a subset of all creators. It's like the 100,000, 200,000 creators that are selling digital content, and they're like restricted by these templated platforms, and then they see ours and the power it has and the custom stuff they can do, and they're like, oh shit, this is like a different.
This is different.
Yeah.
Is that then you're selling entrepreneurialism? You're selling the people the ability to become.
I wouldn't say entrepreneurialism, because I mean the businesses that are flourishing using our services, they're already established businesses. We have a couple of outliers where it's a new concept that comes to us and they're like, hey, cool, we need an app. We don't actually have any content yet, but we know what we're doing. Those are like very much the outliers, but the businesses that come to us are established. So I would say that they're already entrepreneurs, already viable businesses that are generating, meaningful revenue. Cool. So
but how big is that audience? But going back to your point where you're like, we're only this big and we want us to be way bigger. How big is that audience compared to people who've got followers and they just don't know how to monetize them, so they need the entrepreneurialism part of their business, which is what you offer them? Do you see what I mean? How big is that core audience?
I think it's big. I think it's big. No, I think it's big. I think it changes my thoughts if that's who your current customer is, honestly, because it's a different demographic to what, like, we originally started talking about creators, but talking about the subset of creators who are already selling a digital product, who can now sell a better digital product. it's massive. Like I could go on right now and scroll on Instagram and I'll find 40 in minutes of people who are already selling something. Yeah. So I think it changes my mind now hearing what Dave said, because now that subset is way different. You're not educating them to make the leap to start selling. You're now going, you could do this better.
With a better product.
With a better product, which is actually a much harder sell.
Yeah.
Because now it's a change management sale. That's really hard. Like, you're not going to get our team to switch to Slack. It's so much fucking harder to do that than it is to just get some system I need for project management. Right? So the change management conversation is way harder.
So I think in terms of the change management, again, this is also like our landscape is really quite complex, because we've got some customers where they're using a web platform where we can simply bolt on our mobile application functionality to that. So it really is like a value added service to what they're doing. So in essence, what they're able to do is they can then still have their web content as a safety blanket, but they can then also then put that into app. So the space that we play in is really quite like multifaceted and quite complex, and it's not.
Who's the best audience? Like, let's go. Who's the biggest growth? Who do you want to go after? Let's
health and fitness. We want to go after health and fitness and yoga. That's our best audience.
And which are they? Are they the guys who have a product already selling and want a better solution to sell it, to create a better product? Or do you want to go after the people who have huge audiences but are just getting brand deals and want a digital product they can sell? Which is more beneficial for you?
More beneficial for us in terms of actually like winning deals quickly, I would say, is the businesses that have the established product that's already selling. The challenge that we have with the big influencer on social media that doesn't have the product yet, that then takes a lot longer, because then we have to perform that role of educating them in terms of like understanding a lot of technology that they're just completely ignorant to. We've got content creators that have got over 1 million followers on a single social media profile, and then you ask them where their content is hosted, and they're like, oh, it's in the hard drive that I keep in the bedside table. Like those are the kind of things where we're like, that's really dumb. You need to make sure that you're on a reputable, safe and secure content hosting platform. These are the ones that we recommend. And then it then starts the whole wormhole of, well, cool, how do I do this? How do I do that? What does this look like? I thought I was going to spend about $200, where now I'm actually up to $1,500 a month. It adds a lot of complexity to that, where if the business has already got an established product, they're already kind of doing those things, and then they really see us as the specialist bolt-on that delivers a very unique and bespoke app experience, which they're really looking for.
So then I guess so then the enemy is something like, it's like when I get people doing this to me all the time, like trying to sell me the add-on, like trying to sell me the widget, right? And it's the reason I say no to most of them is because of effort. And if I speak to a lot of other people, other business owners, there's the effort of adding that on, the perceived effort is probably the better way to say it. The perceived effort, kind of like going to the gym. Like, actually, it's like just a bit too hard to get started and get up at 5 a.m. to go someone to the gym, because fuck, that coffee's not that good. I can get one from BP. Like, I don't really need to go get one for my mates. I've already got a place I get my coffee. So like, it's that perceived effort of taking the leap is a real big enemy at that point. Like, I'm not going to add on another service to our business. Like, actually, a good example is that there's a group of guys who have created this AI tool for commentary that we've started playing with. It's called Chatterlist, and for a lot, like, it's been months for them to try to get me on board, because I was like, and they gave it to me for free for so long, because I was like, this is so much effort for our team to change. It's so helpful. Like, it literally analyzes your comments and gives you content ideas for the next like based on what the people are saying in the comments using AI, and they're fucking good. We've barely made any videos using this technology, even though they're so good, because the effort of doing that is just too high. It's just well,
It's like the
perceived effort.
Perceived effort.
Crack
Yeah.
screen.
Crack screen, yeah. The perceived effort is too high. It's just too high. So it's like, and Joni was just saying there, we have this analogy in house, and like we're talking about the cracked screen of an iPhone. Like, how much does your iPhone screen have to crack until you're willing to go spend the money to get a new one? And like, actually, it's quite a lot. You know, that having one little crack in it, those of us who love a perfectly good screen will be like, what the fuck? Why have you got a cracked screen, you fuckwit? And then for a lot of people, they're like, it's just not that bad. Like, I'm just going to keep going. Like, it's not a big deal. And you're trying to convince that person that, no, you need to spend $1,000 and get a new screen and fix the screen. And they're like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, it still works. So you're trying to overcome that perceived effort of getting the screen cracked. That's a real enemy that people deal with. So it's a harder enemy than ignorance, actually, because ignorance is just like, you just got to show them. The moment you show them, and then the effort is now, how do I get it in front of them? And then they're like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. But perceived effort is fucking hard. Like, I know that I have a problem with perceived effort of implementing tools. I know I've got this square wheel, and this guy on the side of the road's going, bro, I've got a round wheel. Just stop and change your tire, and you'll be sweet. And I'm like, nah.
Nah, because I have to change the tire.
I gotta change the tire. It's too much effort. It's like, you're not moving anywhere. Tires are square. It's like, nah, I'm sweet. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna keep on moving. I know that's me, and I still don't do it. Right? I still don't make the change. So perceived effort's a good enemy to go after. It's hard, but if you can get it, it's like, if you can convince people to make the do the step, that's it. You've got them. No worries. They're gonna go to you straight away. I might move on because we're already at 9. And we're going to Kylie, and we actually haven't done anything that Nate wanted to do with you guys today. But this is good. Don't get me wrong. This is really good. And for everyone else about Nick and Dave's, what we just went through there, I want you all to think about this, because we just went through a roller coaster of audience. And if you get your audience wrong, everything else falls apart. And we've done this pretty fast as a team, right? We're doing this as a group. So the deep dive into audience is something you really need to do as part of this process. You need to make sure you know who this primary audience is, because otherwise we come off a campaign that's going after someone else, and then it's fucking stupid. We're not going to get it. But this is good, because I was thinking in my head, creators, okay, we're going to educate creators. Nah, that's not what you guys are going after. You're going after this other subset that's more valuable, but it's a harder challenge to overcome. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's bringing up campaign ideas like, why is it worth switching, and why is it easy to switch?
Yeah. Agreed, Dave. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. That was good. Thanks, Nate. And thanks, Nate. Perceived effort. What did I just say? Fuck.
Yeah, perceived effort.
Yeah, perceived effort. Yeah, perceived effort.
Okay, that's good.
Cool, Kylie. Let's go. Where did you get to? Because you were away last week. So where did you get to?
Yeah, true. I'm not too sure actually, but I'll. So I was thinking about my enemy. But so if it's the audience's enemy, I think that I've got two main clients that I work with. One is Māori and one is non-Māori. And in the Māori is kind of more community, and then the non-Māori is kind of my corporate crew that I work with. And for Māori, I think, so we've got that concept that I think everybody knows about. Like, the hardest thing is to get them to attend one of our wānanga, one of our workshops. And so I put that down to whakamā, that there's just this big sense of embarrassment that they feel, which is the biggest barrier to get them there. Once they're there, that they love it. And then under
why the embarrassment? Why the embarrassment, Kylie? Like, what? Go into that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's lack of cultural identity. They don't think that they're worthy enough. Some of them don't think that they're Māori enough. Some of our whia whānau think that, again, that they won't be perceived to be Māori. Anxiety is a big player for a lot of them. And so it's like this built up of different barriers that they are facing just to get them into the door. And then once we get them there, then like all those things start to move away.
Where are those barriers from? Like, who's telling them those things?
Society themselves. Sometimes it could be in the form of intergenerational trauma, and that, you know, at one point of time, one of the parents said, "Oh, look, don't worry about that Māori stuff. You know, we just got to bum down and get into our work type of thing." So it comes in different shapes and forms, but that's what I think for a lot of our Māori people that attend our workshop. That's the biggest barrier, is this whole sense of not worthy, or like someone's just said, like stepping into the unknown, and, you know, am I enough?
Lack of connection.
Yep.
And then with my non-Māori audience, I just don't even know if they know what I do.
Yeah.
And I think because they see me in the community space so much, they don't realise that what we offer in terms of our culture advisory services for non-Māori and our workshops. Because to tell you the truth, I don't market it enough, because I'm busy doing the other stuff.
Yeah. Because Kylie, like, I have no idea why I would hire you guys, or I would bring the team, or like, you know, like I get it. Like, I've watched your content and I know you, and like I still don't know the leap as non-Māori or an organisation who's got predominantly non-Māori, why we would get into this. So I think there's an ignorance play, and it's ignorance on my part, not on your part. Like, I just don't know. Like, I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. This is cool for your community to be able to do this and connect with their culture and blah blah blah. But why the fuck would I go?
Yeah.
So what is that like? Why would I go? Why would, like, I don't even know if we're a right customer, but just try to pitch me. Like, why would the attention seeker do something with Hawaii Kura?
Yeah, so I would put you not in my community stuff, which is the stuff that you kind of see us in. I would, if you were wanting to, if you were wanting to go after more Māori clients who were into wanting to develop their personal brand and stuff like that, and you wanted to engage better and understand Māori better, then that's something that I can come in and help you do. If your team wanted to do, so a lot of our stuff that we do with corporates is around basic 101 Māori culture stuff, and so we'll go and work with hospital staffs, psychiatrists, teachers, educators, and start to educate them better around Māori culture.
Okay, cool. I like it. I'm going into solving campaigns, but I like, there's a good campaign I've seen in other areas where the people are taking essentially like cultural or like sensitive topics that people like actually I saw it because I was doing some more thinking about Pride Month last month, because we did an article about it in the news yesterday, and I was thinking like the point of the article is that not as many brands are doing Pride Month things this year as they have been. There's been a massive decrease in it. And I watched someone who talked about, here is this brand trying to do this thing for the LGBTQ plus community, and they've missed the mark. They've just completely missed the mark. All they've done is put rainbows in, essentially, right? But they've tried to do something. And look, and they probably had really good intentions. They just didn't know how to do it. And so this particular creator is like breaking it down, going why it's wrong and how they could fix it. And they actually were quite positive about it. They weren't like ripping into the person, but they're saying, you know, like, they tried, but like, this is why it didn't hit and why they're getting the negative feedback on it. So imagine the same thing from like a Māori perspective. Like, you could, like, you look at campaigns and be like, look, this could be so much better. They're trying so hard. These people want to support us and we want them to keep supporting us. But like, these are the reasons you're getting the negative backlash because you haven't thought of this and that. And then so what you're doing, you're now setting yourself up as the authority on this space. And so as a business owner scene, I'm like, fuck, we need to do that because like, I want to support, I want to be part of this, I want my team to know, I want to go after this Māori clients, I want to, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's the guy. He's the guy.
Yeah. So for an example, for one of our, one of the contracts that we have with Waikato DHB, we do a historic account, the effects of colonisation, the doctrine of discovery, and then the timeline of impacts of health, and then how Māori have developed new models of Māori health. So that one's specifically for like health workers, but then we can change that same type of format for education people. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got two audiences there. One on for Pākehā, or at least non-Māori, which is ignorance. Is it ignorance? No.
Like my corporates and community organisations who want to engage better and understand Te Ao Māori.
Yeah, Roman, I agree with you, Roman. I think there's a real good, I think there's a huge opportunity from a business perspective for non-Māori businesses or just businesses in general who need cultural and Māori advisors. I think that's huge. I think there's a real LinkedIn play there, especially for you, Kylie, your personal brand. And I think maybe we should look at this as Kylie's personal brand, maybe from a business perspective, and then the Waiki Kura's social media, which is already a community focused stuff. Yeah. Don't butcher the Hawaii Kura's social with the non-Māori audience communication. Yeah. So can I just go? Did we have an enemy for Māori? Was that clear for you?
Not enough.
I think we're alright with the enemy for non-Māori, but for
Māori, I'm not enough. Like, will people just feel like they're not enough? They don't belong.
Yeah, and almost so. And again, it presents itself in different ways, but it's this whole thing of. Someone said it before. You know, you've been away from the gym so long, and then here you are popping your head back into the, you know, and so there's that sense of, you know,
shame,
cultural shame almost. Fuck, am I enough? And do I actually belong here? And like I said, for some of our people, you know, the fair-skinned white Māori, and so for them they're like, oh, you know, well, I'm not brown enough to be Pākehā, and I'm not white enough, whatever the order is. But so it can present itself in different ways, but just to get them to the workshop is one of our biggest enemies.
It's kind of like what.
And once they're there, they're all good.
It's like what Roman was saying about the gym. It's like, welcome back, bro.
Yeah.
You're here. Yeah.
And then, you know, and again, us Māori men in the room, you know, so sometimes you're scared because you turn up to the marae, and then next minute you think, oh fuck, are they going to ask me to get up and do the whai kōrero and all that kind of stuff, and like there's that assumption that there's going to be these big responsibilities, and so a lot of our stuff is like, you're enough, like just however you come, come. The most important thing is that you just come.
Insecurity. Yeah. Insecurity is what Tonga put in. Yeah. I like that as an enemy. Yeah. Insecurity. It's how I feel with some Cook Island, and so when I go to like Cook Island, like my Cook Island side of the family stuff, when it's especially like funerals and different things, or even like the other day I went to a funeral, and like actually this was actually my Pākehā side, but all my Pākehā side is married to Māori, so it's very much a Māori funeral where, you know, they handed around the stick, we all had to say something about my uncle who passed away, but then all the Māori did a waiata after they said their thing, and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing a waiata, I can't fucking sing. And so I didn't want to do it, but then they're like, no one's leaving this room until they've said something. And I'm like, fuck, sweating. But then what's cool about it, and as you know, everyone else just does the waiata for you.
Yeah.
You know, because they're just like, you don't, we get it, not everyone can sing, so we'll just jump in with you and we'll do it with you. So, but my insecurities are like, I can't fucking sing. Don't make me fucking sing. I don't want to sing. I can speak. I'll talk to you. But, you know, and so the insecurity piece I think is a cool enemy actually, because I think there's a lot of people who don't grow up with their culture. Who just go, I want it, it's cool, like I get it, I want to connect, but I know nothing and so I'm scared.
Yeah. And even in that, you know, that basic 101 tikanga stuff, you know, just starting to break it down for Māori and non-Māori, because there's that assumption there too, that because you're brown, you know.
Yeah.
And like you said, sometimes you turn up to the tangi at the marae and you don't know. You know, and sometimes, you know, we've now got second, third generation kids that have been born in Australia who also don't know. And it's because what we've also found is that the Māori people that come to our courses, there are probably three main reasons why they come. One is to reclaim cultural identity. The second is to heal from intergenerational trauma, and then the third one is community. They want to find a sense of belonging.
Yeah, cool.
It's a real universal as well, because I'm terrible. Like, I'd really like to involve myself more in Māori culture and speak Māori words, but I'm scared of looking like an idiot, so I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm scared as a white person to try and speak and use the language, and then I get and it becomes pressure. So I then pressure myself, and then I always fuck it up, and I just feel like I'm an idiot. So my fear is actually really selfish, is being laughed at, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. This is selfish, universal fear of if I don't do this right, all these people that can do it right are going to laugh at me and I'm going to look like a dick.
Yeah.
That's the fear.
And I think the other thing too about that is there was a period of time, so probably the 80s and 90s where probably not the 90s, but the 80s, there were those treaty workshops going around, and we were pretty fucking hardcore. You know, in terms of the Māori facilitators at that point in time, wanted every Pākehā to cry before they left the room.
Yeah. But I think that's just the idea of if you can convince people that you don't have to do it exactly right, you just have to try and do it.
Yeah.
Trying to do it is enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's for me. If someone said that to me, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll fuck up all these words until I learn them.
Yeah.
But no, man, I just don't use any of the language because I'm just like, oh my god, you're gonna look like a dick.
So universal across.
Yeah. And if I do it wrong, I'm gonna insult people. Is the other thing, right? You oh my god, I don't want to do that because I'm just gonna insult you if I fuck it up. So I'm just not gonna do it, which is worse.
I watched a video last night on exonyms and endonyms. So exonyms are the way German or Germany is an exonym because Germans call themselves, they call the country Deutschland or Deutsch, and so Germany becomes the exonym. And there's this whole thing around if you can just use the right word for how the people of that country call themselves, why wouldn't you? But a lot of people don't. They're too scared. How many people? How often will any of us call Germany Deutschland? We're just never going to do it. Because we're too scared, or we don't know it, or ignorant.
Don't know if you're going to fuck someone up.
Yeah, you're going to piss them off. But when you do it to those local people, how good they feel. If you, I don't know who's been to France, but you go to France and you actually try to use French, they'll love you. You go in and ask them for help using English, and the French will just say no and turn their back on you and tell you to fuck off. So it's just trying is such a good solution for it. Yeah. Okay.
One of the cool things that we get in the workshops that I facilitate is for our non-Māori people is that they say that they're really thankful in the safe environment that we're able to create, so that they can ask those real awkward questions that and I've heard it all, and so I make it quite not funny but quite a little bit light, so that they feel secure, which is probably one of our biggest things is that straight away we need to, for our non-Māori people in particular, to know that they're in a safe space, that they can ask those questions, that they can pronounce that vowel wrong, and they can get, but it is about practicing. And then we give them our tips and our tricks in terms of, when you go to the marae and you want to, if you want to engage with Māori, go and engage with them before you actually need them, because if you're rolling up there and they know that it's a tokenistic relationship, then we can smell it from a mile away.
Yeah.
So it has to be, an authentic relationship. Go in there, make auntie a cup of tea, go grab you a tea towel. And so these are some of the bigger organisations that I work with. These are some of the things that we start running through with them.
Yeah.
Just want to jump in real quick before you close off, Stan.
Yeah.
On that. First thing, Nate's keen to jump on the next non-Māori workshop.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'd love to.
Second one, I guess like I'm in that position with similar to Stan. My mum's Niuean, and she opted not to teach us anything Niuean, because of growing up in Niue. You in school, you got beaten if you spoke Niuean at school. So she transferred that trauma over to me. Oh, you don't need to learn Niuean, you don't need to learn anything. We'll just give you a bit of food every now and again, and I'll teach you how to say hello. I was like, okay, cool. So then fast forward to now, it's like, now I'm working with, starting to work with the youth in Grey Lynn. There's our village youth trying to. Last year we taught Daesh and a few of my other Niuean family how to do the Niue Haka, Te Kalo, and it's, I guess, what the enemy that I face and what you face, Kylie, is the insecurity of disconnection versus the benefit of connection. If you can convince people that the benefit of connection far outweighs the insecurity of disconnection, and that initial stages, then you've got them. So it's like, how do I get Daesh to come and learn the Te Kalo? How do I get my nephew to come? Daesh is keen, he understands, but my nephew, I let him, hey, we're doing this, we've got a wedding coming up, or we had a 50th birthday, I'm not going to be there to lead the haka, we need someone to lead it, and we would like you to join in. Here's the times we're having the training. Liam's like, yeah, I'll be there. But my conversation wasn't good enough for him to want to be there and turn up. Daesh understood, everyone else turned up, and it was awesome. Liam would watch and probably feel a little bit of mana diminishing inside him. Man, I should have gone, I could have been there. But I guess it's that conversation about that awareness, the ignorance, and a little bit of discomfort in the beginning for being more fruitful after.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, the way you phrased it too. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And it even makes me think a little bit for you, Jennifer, like same thing. Like it's still the same principle at the end of the day, you're just using food to do it, to do the same thing of connection.
Yes, yeah.
Because people are also, like, food's a big one too, like people have insecurities around being able to cook or knowing what's the right way to do something or, whatever, so yeah, interesting. We've got 35 minutes left today. That took way longer than me and Nate sort of thought, but I'm actually really happy we did it because I think there's a few things that it uncovered. I think for everyone who, while you're listening, I just want to make sure we're also try to find, you're probably doing it anyway, and I can see it in the chat because you're all going for it, but how does, take the elements of what we're discussing with everyone and how does it apply to you? Especially today, I think what was real important was audience is huge, making sure we got the audience right, which might help us figure out, actually when I think about the Barons, if you think about audience, we're wondering, should I be attacking Wellington Chocolate or should I be attacking complacency? And I think actually the audience is going to tell you that answer straight away, right? Because regular consumers who are making a choice at the supermarket or at the local shop or whatever it is, they're not going to go, oh, that's right, I remember they said fuck Wellington Chocolate. They're not going to do that. There's other things that will stick in their mind better than that. So I think it gives you the answer, right, when you know your audience, right?
Totally. I think we had to talk about it more further. It's just really the ideals, naturally, that somebody, like a competitor like them, what we perceive their ideals are kind of polar opposite to what we see our ideals as. So the stronger that we have our ideals, we are fighting our enemy, in our minds. Yeah, so the stronger that we're fighting complacency and boring chocolate and same old, then we are naturally fighting our competitors.
Yeah.
Without fighting them, we're not directly going after them at all, but we're just sort of enforcing what we believe is our values, which naturally fights our enemy.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah. And then the other thing before we move on, I liked is in this conversation today, is that we talked a lot about competitors and other people and same with Tonga and what you're talking about and things like that, and actually there's just no use going after competitors, no use to even think about them. As soon as you're running that race, you're running their race, not your race. And so it's really good if you can get rid of that. It's fun to do stuff with competitors later on when you've built a brand and you can do things that are fun and tongue-in-cheek, and we've got a campaign where we're going to do a bit of tongue-in-cheek with not necessarily individual competitors, but the industry as a whole. But yeah, just so don't get focused on competitors. Like I really like Gary Vee. For those of you who watch him, has like a really good saying that I liked about, like, there's 2 ways to build the biggest tower in town. You can either tear all the other towers down, or you can build yours bigger. You know. So
I think the other thing that, like, a thing for me throughout my career, so I've always had this thing with clients going on about worrying about competitors. The reality in the space that we're in, which is trying to get attention, your competitors aren't the other brands; they're everything.
Yeah.
Like you're competing effectively when you go out to market. You're competing in this space. You're competing for attention, and there are way bigger things for you to worry about that get people's attention than your other brands.
Yeah, for sure.
The Instagram hole is your competition because people go down that, right? And that's where at this point it's just attention that we're looking for. That's the thing you need to get first before you can even get them to talk to you, to get them to try your product, blah 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 blah. So the competitor thing's just a misnomer. It doesn't that doesn't really. No, people don't go out going, I'm thinking about chocolate. I'm thinking about other people's. You know what I mean? Like they go out and they might be thinking about chocolate, and then somebody else is going to take their attention away and they're going to fuck off. So I think worrying about other brands is just pointless at this point. Like it really is. It doesn't. It's meaningless to people. Like no one worries about all the different, like what all your different competitors do. You just need to get their attention and sell them the best thing you can.
That's a good point. I remember Nate telling me once that we were doing a thing with a client. He was going, it still sticks with me. Like the client was going, here's all my competitors' websites. Like they're so good. I want a website like theirs. And he's like, no one compares it to your competitors. They're comparing it to Facebook. They're comparing it to YouTube. You know, they're comparing it to the websites they actually use. No one's going to your website and then your competitor's website and going, oh, theirs is better than yours. I'm going to buy their product instead. No, they're like comparing their user experience is what they're used to on using real things, like Facebook or YouTube or Google or whatever. So that I like that idea of like the competitor is the other videos on Instagram's feed.
Yeah, not just chocolate ones.
Yeah. That's our first enemy. First thing we're going after. How do we attack that? All right, campaign is the next stage of this conversation, and the way we wanted to do campaign is actually to do it properly as a group, and there's a couple ways to do this as a group properly. We'll do it one at a time, but we want to do it as a group activity where people are shouting over top of each other essentially. So the way we do this, we'll lead it, but the way that we do campaign is what we're trying to figure out is the big idea, the show. What's the show? Like what's the big idea, the big campaign that we can run forward with as a centralizing narrative to put all the content around, right? So as an example, it might be that we're going to create a podcast, right? And this podcast is the central piece, it's the show that we've created and everything comes out of it. Or in Joni and I, it's the boss versus employee sitcom that we've created on our TikTok. That's the big campaign idea. And then everything starts to fall out of that, right? So, and there's different ways to bring it. So the way we'd do it is the three of us would just start throwing shit at a wall and seeing which one sticks relative to the enemy, the audience, and the brand, right? So we know our brand, we know our audience, we know our enemy. And so we'll start to do this, and what I'd like, we'll go around and we'll do it one at a time over the next probably 2 or 3 weeks maybe, because once you got this, everything comes out of it, right? It's real easy. You'll see it. But I don't want like everyone to just sit and watch us do one person. Like you guys all have TV shows you watch, content that you like, things that you do. There's going to be something that one of you say that's going to be the thing. It's going to spark the idea and we're going to get it. And like the rest of us could never have made the leap because we didn't have that other understanding of this other thing, and you've managed to connect it to what the fuck Kylie was talking about, right? You know, like the differences is the.
Does everyone understand that idea of creating the show? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically taking an existing vehicle that you know that can deliver the things that you're trying to say. So the sitcom between Stan and Joni is Shrek and Donkey, right? They're the two characters, but that's the characters that they play in that, and that's a familiar thing for the audience, so they understand and they get the dynamic, and it's easy for them to consume it. Like for other clients, we're doing sketch shows, which is like comedy sketch shows that have the same two characters do the same routine over and over and over again. They just do a slightly different joke. So that's what we mean by that. That's what we mean, like finding something that our audience will be familiar with, or your audience will be familiar with, that you can hijack and then insert yourselves in, having those same characters, the same narratives, so that you're just cutting out all of the need for those people to learn what that is. They get it straight away.
And don't get fixated on comedy or sitcoms. Like, it can be a news show.
Yeah.
It could be a newsletter.
Yeah.
Like the word show isn't always right. We often use it because we're talking video and entertainment, but it could be literally any form of communication. So don't get fixated on, what's a cool comedy show that I watch? It could be anything. For a few of you, comedy works. For others, like Kylie's not going to talk about sensitive fucking Māori issues using like full on stupid jokes. But for other parts of it, he might, so don't just get fixated on that. It's just we use it a lot because it's our brand. So when I say everyone gets involved, like talk over each other, yell out, put stuff in the chat if you need to, because some people are better at typing than they are at yelling, and that's fine to do that. And we've got the chat up. If someone yells something out and you're talking, do not stop talking. We can hear everyone, right? So just yell over top of each other, finish your sentence, and then stop, and then let the other person. The reason why I want that, and this is always the hardest thing on a video call, is that they'll hear a noise and they're like, oh, what? Did someone say something? It's like, who gives a fuck if they said something? Finish your bit and let them say their bit. We can hear it. The transcription will pick up both of it. Like, remember we're recording all of this so you can come back to it. Like, and there's heaps of people listening, so someone will listen to your bit. Don't stop, because once you stop, you lose your train of thought. So just keep going. If you are yelling out something and someone's like on a really good spiel and they're going for it, put it in the chat. It's fine, but also know that actually we find the best things come from. I'm having a rant like I am now, and then Janie will be like, but this, and she'll just butt in, and I'm like, oh fuck, you're right. It stopped me, because otherwise we just wasted 25 minutes of me talking some bullshit. She's like, no, move on, let's go. Like, keep going to the next thing, or this is that. Does that make sense? This is your time to not be fucking on mute, hiding away. This is the part where we use you as a group.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you all okay doing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all okay to not shut up when someone else talks. You're just going to keep going. And you're going to talk over people. When Nick starts to sell us his vid we're just going to keep going. We don't care. We're just going to keep moving forward. Yeah. I talk way too much. Just cut me off. Just keep going.
We're just throwing out ideas for our campaigns.
Yeah,
what we think we're going to do.
Yeah. We'll lead you off.
Our campaigns or other people just like.
We're gonna start with one at a time. We'll do one person's campaign, but we're all gonna participate on that. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we would have done it for everyone. It'll get faster and faster as we go along, because we're not just gonna forget all the ideas that we had.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of them are gonna overlap and shit.
Yeah. And what the crux of it is situations or things that, or shows you've seen or newsletters you've read that deal with the enemy that we've delegated ourselves, right?
Or even sometimes this is it, right? Where we're doing it now, because we're going to counter each other, which is sometimes it's completely unrelated, but I really enjoy the content style, and I think it'd be quite interesting to do it this way.
Yeah.
Is also just as good. So let's just start. We'll roll through. It's going to be a bit clunky. We've got half an hour. Well, I've got 24 minutes because I blabbered on for too long.
That's good.
So why don't who we started with at the beginning? Jennifer.
Yeah.
It's always Jennifer. Jennifer's the teacher's pet.
That's because she was a good girl and did her homework on time.
Yeah. So let's start with Jennifer's. Recap. What's our one word for enemy?
Our enemies are like mass, basically. Mass production and the lack of individualism. Yeah. Capitalism, basically.
Okay. So let's start with like ideas of like what are some cool shows, Jennifer, that you think would be cool for you? Like what stuff that you like watching? What's your?
So I'm going to start with.
I love watching shows, kind of like vlogs or whatever, where people like sit together around a table and just talk about different things. One example is kind of like I don't know if you've heard Red Table Talk, I think it's called. Like Jada Pinkett Smith gets people in and around the table and they talk about different things. So I was thinking I could do something maybe like that, but with like moms or
like a panel
other
show.
ladies.
It's like a panel show,
But-
kind of. You know,
Kind
like,
of,
like
yeah.
the view, kind of like talking around.
A little bit, but yeah, have
But-
it a little more intimate rather than
Yeah.
like a panel show where
Comedians. What's that?
we're
Comedians?
just getting together over some meals
also
or
round table?
snacks and talking about traditions and like how we all kind of grew up in our childhoods or whatever
Yeah.
about
Comedians.
coming
like,
together.
there's like that show where the comedians sit in a round table and they all giving stories about their life. Like those sorts of shows are cool.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah,
a client that
yeah.
we pitched one for around the Carver Bowl, and like it was for like for those of you who are like brown and you sit around, it doesn't have to be a Carver Bowl, but like those like you think it's funny and there's a bunch of the brothers like sitting around having a drink or having something. maybe
Around the
smoke.
Hangi Pit.
Yeah, and you're just like having a laugh and it's crack up as. It's actually boring if you watched it back, but in the moment you think it's funny. But you're sharing stories, and like around the Hangi Pit's a good one, Kylie, because that's really Jennifer. It's like you're standing around eating the food, having that good conversation.
Yeah, like a bonfire or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's a couple of podcasts at the moment where they sit around eating food.
Yeah.
I've seen it on TikTok. I'm not sure what.
Dish
What
has
it
one.
is?
Dish has got one. The channel Dish. They did it recently with Dua Lipa. They sit around, they eat dinner, and then they talk about I don't know,
Anything.
whatever.
Yeah, I've seen one similar on TikTok somewhere.
Okay, cool. What else? We got that down. What else?
Day drinking.
I would love that.
What was it?
Day drinking, yes.
There's that chick on TikTok and she eats caviar. And she just, like, every video she would eat, like, her family have a caviar business in New York or something, and then everyone kind of jumped on the bandwagon because I think there's some curiosity around caviar. Like, what's her name? Danielle or something like that?
Yeah, because it's a thing that people don't typically eat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or yeah, I guess doing again videos of different recipes. You could get together and just not necessarily be showing them how to make the recipe, but again making the food and just having a conversation about the enemies and different.
Yeah, or I guess videos of showing people cooking a recipe together. It's about connection and not so much about the recipe, it's about the process, so that the recipe is enabling you to connect with your children or your relations or your friends or something. You know?
The fire safety on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Kitchen.
Drunk one.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the fire safety campaign that Motion Sickness did, where they set up a kitchen in Britomart in Auckland, and they had all the people, like it was at 1 a.m, and everyone was coming drunk, and they had this cookbook which was like the whole saying of like don't drink and fry. So it was like things you could cook without needing to use a stove or an oven. So that was dumb stuff like noodle sandwiches and shit like that. Like shit food, but it was like munchy food that you could have after a night out. And they got drunk people in this kitchen to cook food out of this cookbook. And it was just hilarious because they were pissed and they were trying to make this thing. It was a very good campaign. But that was a funny show where they you put people into a situation they're not necessarily comfort in or experts in, but then funny stuff happens when people are trying things for the first time or like interesting things.
Yeah.
So it's a similar stuff. You put people in
sort of comedy.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Great Kiwi Bake Off and just specifically Gordon and Jordan, not the comedians.
Okay.
Like there's something kind of amazing about how awkward Gordon and Jordan's energy was together, but at the same time they're so legitimate with what they knew about the baking. Like, I think this is going to spill out the sides, and then it does, like exactly as expected. I think when I think of the tone, I don't think it has that comedic element. And maybe it could be subtle, but there's something about that. I don't know exactly what it is. Something about that energy between those two that's very captivating for me. Like on a out of those sort of shows and stuff.
Yeah. I need to watch it.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking Sopranos. Just because of the traditional Italian like breaking bread food thing. Like and I know it's a random curveball, but we need some of those sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's that real proper fucking full on tradition around food. Like the way that they talk about food in The Sopranos is incredible. The way that it's like a real central character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where that goes. Like I'm not suggesting that we do gangsters for you. But
Your tie's crooked.
I'm gonna start.
I don't know. But
It almost, I kind of get the picture of like, then you have like a mass group of people all coming together, and just you have all this food on the table, and everybody's just there and talking over each other and reaching in and enjoying the food with all that kind of. I think that's
crazy
really
episode of The Bear.
Yeah, The Bear. I was thinking The Bear when you said Sopranos. What about like, you know, the And that we're on, me, Claire and I were on, the And, like the cut stuff, like where you have these like those shows where you have like a card, they're like a conversation starter, and they're quite like heavy conversations, like they're quite.
What was this show called?
Mine, the one me and Claire was on was called The And.
Oh yeah.
Skin Deep.
Yeah, Skin Deep. The Skin Deep, they have a show called The And. And essentially it was Claire and I sitting across from each other. Just the way they'd done it was pretty much just us two in a room. And they made us like ask each other these like deep questions. It was heavy, like if you want to watch me cry, go watch that video.
If you want to cry, go watch
if
me
you
cry.
want to cry, go watch that video.
I cried. It was good.
Yeah, and so it's like, could you get that? Like, we've got a few of those boxes, the We Aren't Really Strangers boxes and the Spark boxes and stuff, of these decks of cards that are really, really good questions that if you don't know someone, it helps you connect with them. And the We Are Really Strangers box is really good because it's that whole concept that we're not really strangers. Like, we actually are, we're humans, so we're actually very alike. So doing like a round table dinner of people who don't know each other, who look different. Like, what's the show, The Cut Note? What's the one? Jubilee.
Jubilee does it, yeah.
Jubilee, where you've almost got opposing forces sitting on a table. You know, you've got like different worlds colliding, but then they're asking questions and they're like, oh man, I think the same as you. Like, because actually humans, we're not that different when we really get into it. We just, media uses division to make it more interesting, but it's just as interesting when you see people connect. And if food's just the hero as opposed to the thing you're talking about, like if it's just there, so you don't need to necessarily push it hard out.
And that's what I think. Like, if my ultimate goal is to get people more connected, then you're trying to have a show or something about people connecting, and you just have the food on the table and then they're eating and drinking as they're conversing.
Yeah.
Rather than going, here's our salmon and blah blah blah.
Can I ask, Jennifer, can you produce something like that?
Like, I mean, I can set up a video camera and sit down and ask people questions, or I can invite a bunch of people over to sit around my table and
film
like,
it all
have questions.
and edit it all.
It'd be good
as well.
to get Kylie involved and get that cultural mashups.
I definitely already thought there's so much intermingle.
Yeah, between you lot. Yeah.
I was just thinking, Jennifer, I love the idea. Like, I really love the idea of like people talking and having deep conversations over food. I watch that content. Like, it's fucking good content.
Yeah.
My concern for you is, and you might be able to do it, but I just want to make sure you can post-produce and produce this sort of content, because it's not easy. Like, and the reason it's not easy is because it's time-consuming. Because like editing fucking 2-hour sit down to get the clips you need to make it interesting is way harder than it sounds.
But also like having conversation and the right prompts to get the right clips
and the right
also
people.
Really hard. Like
you need the
encouraging people, but even outside of that, you need the right
Yeah.
people to encourage more out of the questions. Like it's
it's a lot. And you need to do it for about 3 or 4 hours to get the last 40
Yeah.
minutes of good conversation.
Yeah.
Like Like Joe Rogan does 4-hour podcasts, and he only ever really the only clips that go viral from the last 30 minutes. You know?
Yeah. It'd be something that I'd be keen to try and see if I could do. Anyways, yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I reckon like those conversations, it's when they become vulnerable and that connection happens.
Yeah.
That's the magic. And even if it's not even words, it's a silent moment of, and you see the connection happening. Then that's the winner.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And whether I start off as like a one-on-one conversation with people, but then I could spread it out to more people or different friend groups, and then eventually, as it grows, get it to be maybe strangers all getting together and.
I think with people sitting opposite each other.
And what Joni said about prompting, like picking prompting questions that evoke that emotion and connection. So you're needing someone who can see what needs to be asked to force the answer.
Facilitator.
Yeah.
And how do you bring the food into it a bit more? Because you got like there's hot takes with hot wings. They'll do another few minutes. They'll introduce another spice of wings. So would you do courses whatever you sell? If this is our first course, this is our first course convo. Second course convo. Like I'm not sure, but just to people still see the food out.
Withhold the salmon until it gets heated.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
So when you know the salmon comes out, you know the a little bit deeper.
Hold that point. Just put the salmon in your mouth, and then.
Ron's on crew.
The people come together, and then the salmon comes on the table.
Or as soon as someone starts talking about politics or religion, put the salmon on the table.
Just to calm things down. I think you'd just have the salmon on the table the whole time, and you wouldn't talk about it.
Well, because it'd just be like coming together over lunch or dinner. You don't necessarily talk about the food as you're around a table with people. It's just there, and people automatically eat it. They'll automatically go in and grab some nibbles or something off a platter or whatever. It's just what people do when they're not talking.
Yeah. Agreed. I think.
Is it in terms of the production? Is it just you and one other person to start off with?
Well, I guess
just so that you might go over and visit someone and take some salmon around to them, and you're having a bit of a convo. Then it's a little bit more easy in terms of the production.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, do that or invite a couple friends over one evening.
Pulling on that, because you're a mum of young kids, like having a coffee platter with another mum, and just kind of having deep diving into conversations.
What about if you had the food with the kid?
Yeah,
just do it with the kid.
How old are your kids, Jennifer?
3 and 4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're fucking funny. You get kids to have the chat.
Yeah, it's the old show, right? Kids say the darnest things.
Yeah. They do.
And kids eating expensive salmon as well.
Oh my god, they just shovel it in their
destroying
faces.
it and
Boss Baby style there from Four Seasons on.
Yeah. I've got a few videos where I was making recipes and things, and I was making sushi once, and then my kid yelled across the room, "Mom, I love sushi!" And then there's other ones where they're like petting my face from the side of the screen, and they're just kind of in there.
That's kind of funny, like a cooking show, but like a real mum. Like how it would actually be with all the kids grabbing at you, trying to get some stuff. Like
yeah.
And like you doing.
Then if I'm not allowed to swear, it'd be really hard.
Do you do like like all these mums do like lunch boxes for their kids? Because you do like a real high end, like expensive lunch, food in your kids' lunch boxes. And just,
my kids went to school this morning with cold smoked salmon cucumber sandwiches.
Oh, that is fucking insane.
It's boss.
Oh, it's so good. Love
Yeah, I could do bougie boxes or something like that.
That's a good one.
That's the work lunch box.
Coordinate it, you've got to make it happen. Like, imagine having a family dinner every weekend that you had to go to, like a big party you had to go to every single weekend
with different people, interesting people,
and you had to organise every single one.
Yeah, and you had to take 4 cameras, and you had to like set all the cameras to where it had the batteries, like all the light, everything. Like that's a big job to make it good. Yeah,
it's a shit fight.
Yeah.
But I think you should do it still. I think that's a good campaign as like a side project campaign, which is a longer build.
Yeah.
But I think there's something more around the food that we can do that's more now. Like the bougie lunch boxes is a funny thing. The kids is funny. What about if you're okay exploiting your kids on social media, then we are too.
Oh, shit,
we love it. I think there's something more.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe is there a I don't know how to phrase this properly. Is there attack not an attack, but is there a way to do it around like crappy cooks like men, or do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's just people who don't like, who sit outside of the traditional thing.
Single fathers.
Yes, like do you know, people that sit outside, because you're all about tradition and families, and is there? I don't know if it's men. I don't know if I'm generalising, but is there a way to talk to people you wouldn't expect to be able to create that environment that you want to create? I don't know. Maybe.
I was thinking, like, what about cooking other traditional stuff, right? So you do smoked salmon and whatever, but like, what if you were taking these old recipes? You know who was really good at this? Heston Blumenthal. Like, he would take 1800 recipes and recreate them, and they were super interesting to watch because it was like this. I mean, because they were fucking crazy, because half of them had turtle in it and all sorts of shit. But like, taking like other traditions from other cultures, like, and you're in New Zealand, and you've got a Māori culture advisor on this group who could probably help, and so you could come up with like you could take other people's cultures and go, we sell cultural food. That's what you sell. Like, you're selling this connection piece through culture and food and tradition. Why don't you go and educate the world on other people's tradition?
What about if you did it as well as that? You could do like the food dating, where there's a family setting in a film or movie. You do that dish, like The Sopranos. You could do You could do the dish that they always have in The Sopranos.
Yeah, the guy who does the
Babbage.
Yeah, and you could do the food like, so you could when it's when there's a film or a TV show that's got a family setting, you do the dinners in that. You should teach people how to make it.
Take one of the dishes.
Yeah, you take one of the dishes.
Just
like the
recreate
Bear's
it.
7 fish dinner.
Yeah. And you could do it based on shows that are on at the moment, or like really big shows, because that's really interesting.
Socially relevant, culturally relevant.
It's socially
That's cool, because like you could just make these things, which is way easier because it's just using you. You could have the kids as part of it. You could even be teaching your kids as you do it, or they could just be annoying you.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's way easier to produce.
That's right, because then it's just me and kind of
and then
a lot less tech.
And then do you get someone of that culture to come and dine and then get their reaction?
Yeah, give them to eat it.
Yeah.
Get some
I could tag people and be like, hey, I made this dish, what do you think?
Or you have a recurring character, like, I don't know, like someone, I don't know, partner or family member or something who doesn't eat anything with pepper on it. You know, like they're so bland in their eating.
Yeah.
And you're making them eat all this other shit. Like it's what's the Carl from Idiot Abroad.
Yeah.
Gervais' guy, where they'd send him to these awesome locations, and he'd be like, it's just a bit shit. Like,
fucking love Carl.
But like, you get these people that eat stuff, and they probably won't like it, but that's not the point. The point is like, over time, what ends up happening, and the same thing happened with Idiot Abroad, they become so educated around culture and taste and stuff. So you watch this character arc over a series of this person who's now like an expert at eating random cultural foods, and you're now the expert of identifying culture.
I could even like take these meals even from shows or different cultures. I can make them and then have my husband taste them, and he'd start off with going like, oh this is fine, and then as if hopefully he would grow into being like, oh yes, I taste the mushrooms in it and blah blah blah.
So all these meals showcase salmon, or that's not really a part
I don't think it needs to.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
Because you're not. Your values aren't salmon. Your values are traditional craftswomanship, relationships, and family.
Right. Okay. And do you have the technical ability to recreate these meals as well?
Yeah. So because at the moment we're just, like we said, we're just trying to get attention. This isn't about selling your salmon. This is about you getting attention, so you've got an audience to which you can sell to.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, of course, that has the audience has to have the idea that the thing you do is related, but at that point they don't care. They just want to get
because
attention.
people like smoked salmon, and if they're like, oh, she can cook all this other stuff great, so if I want smoked salmon, then she's the guy. Oh, I might as well get her smoked salmon. Yeah. Can
I just point out while we're here that this is why you need those shit ideas at the start. So all the shit ideas at the start are all really relevant because they feed up to the bit at the end where you get to somewhere juicy.
Yeah, this is already way better.
It's a really good process. Like the ideas at the end here are way, way better than the ones at the start, which was just basically copying someone else's work.
And for next week when we do this, like we're going to do this again because you're already going to have gone through some of these shit ideas with each other.
Yeah.
Like this sit around talking on a fucking dinner table, we could have used for the Barons doing something, people coming in and doing, but it's like, can you fucking produce that? Like, do you have the time? Or do you have the effort? So you'll all start to realize we can eliminate these ideas straight away. They're good, they're starting blocks. Oh, how else could we do this? Another way, Jennifer, is even like just before we finish.
I've got to pop out, so I'm going to make my cup.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I've got to leave, but thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Love your work.
Another way to bring other people in is, which is really relevant, is a video call, like a FaceTime. Like you could have have someone teaching you how to make it on FaceTime or on a video call from like Japan, teaching you how to do some sort of, I don't know, whatever, right? But they're on it. There's another way. Like you might not do it straight away, but like long term, you still now have the actual connection piece in it.
Yeah.
And which is way easier to do because you just do a fucking Teams meeting and record it or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, that would be easy enough.
Okay, so we're gonna park it there because it's 10 o'clock. People need to go. My team's waiting for me. We're gonna do this for the next probably 2 weeks. Okay. So what I want everyone to do is like remember these ideas. We'll obviously share everything. It's gonna make we'll get faster as we go along because we're all gonna have workshop through all these ideas. The things I want you to walk away with is like be realistic with understanding your production capabilities. What can you actually produce on your own, right? Or what resources do you have to hire the right creators? Like, let's say you want to do a podcast. Let's just say anyone want to do a podcast. It's the easiest one to talk about. There might be a local podcast studio nearby that you could do it in, and it doesn't cost a lot because actually podcast studios aren't that expensive to hire. So you could probably find one you could go in.
That's all good.
What was that, sorry?
No,
you're right. No, all good. So there are things like that you can do that I need you to think about, like how much time, how much money, what internal resources do we have to be able to produce this stuff? Just have them in the back of your mind. You don't have to write them down. You just need to know, like talking to Jennifer now, like, does she really want to host a dinner party every single week and then post-produce all the content that comes from it? You might. And if you do, then fuck it, let's go.
Maybe once a month, but not every week.
And that's it. If you do it once a month, I think is right. It's not going to turn the tap on tomorrow. It's going to turn the tap on next year. So now we also need something to turn the tap on tomorrow. Right?
Yes.
So we need both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. So the only real homework today is like go away. Like you've seen a little bit of what we've done with Jennifer. Jennifer, we're going to finish yours next week. We'll start back there and we'll get it to a final point. Everyone else is going to think about that, resources and time, and then just think of like go watch some content. Go consume some shit. Go find other chocolatiers who are doing cool content, or even just artisan product. You know, both of you, Jennifer and the Barons, like you've both got this artisan products, right? So go do it.
Yeah.
Kylie,
Yeah.
like go find people who are else talking about cultural relevant stuff, and tech guys. You know, you've all got stuff. Go away, watch some content, consume it. Go, I fucking love this, and this is why I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Cool. And then bring those ideas, because those ideas is where we'll start.
Sounds good.
All right, team. Thank you so much for today. That was great. As always, everything will be in the chats. And again, I don't know if everyone saw my post, but get into Otter if you haven't and ask it questions.
Yes.
It's fucking cool what you can do in there and ask it crazy questions, right? Like you can get it to go, like Nate was saying, fuck, we should just ask Otter to do all the SMPs next time we run the cohort because it probably fucking could. It can actually just do it. Like just go, hey, can you give me the single-minded proposition for Roman's business, and it would have just done it. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get us closer to the place, right? And then a starting point. So get in that Otter and use it. You're going to have access to it forever. It's fucking super powerful what it can do, because it also accesses the internet and all our knowledge, combines it, and then spits back a starting block for you to play with. Cool.
Cool.
All right, team.
Thank you so much. See you guys later.
See you guys.